Testing, 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 testing. Good morning. TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. Shout out to all of y'all. I see you. I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. We back. So it's a part two, but not a part two. But we didn't finish yesterday. Shout out to Chaotic Truth for coming through. So, sometimes things change and then we just have to pick up where we left off, which is what we're about to do with regard to clown and cop. Clown versus cop. And no, I do not like D.L. Hughley. He's a hypocrite. All the people that want to call everybody else a hypocrite. It's amazing how they can ignore their hypocrites and follow them blindly. And as soon as someone says something about somebody else, it always equates back to, but what about? Y'all already know how that go, right? Excuse me. All right. I'm here a little bit early. I got out a little bit early this morning, so we're going to try to get this done by 8 a.m. so I can go on to work and then be ready for the weekend, which will be back again tomorrow and Sunday. And then, of course, back at it on Monday because there's always so much to talk about. Content for days, child. Content for days. So before we get to the clown versus cop, we got to do a bit of Fauci because we have to keep up with all this foolishness with regard to Fauci. It's amazing to me as I'm reviewing and looking at some of the things that are out here with regard to Fauci and all the things that are popping back up from 2020 on, that it always equates back to Trump. Okay, we got it. Trump is an asshole. There's nothing new there. Trump is a racist, child. Nothing new there. Trump is a 45 count felon, whatever the number is. All right, there's nothing new there. He's a typical man, got it. Nothing new there. What the hell does that have to do with these other people? So all these other people get excused because Donald Trump did this, that, and the third. So everybody gets excused because, Donald Trump did this, did that, did this, that. What that got to do with everybody else? It's like an excuse to excuse the person that you like and then utilize somebody that you don't like to excuse the person that you do like. You asshole, regardless of what anybody else did. You a jackass, regardless of what anyone else did. Like it's like for the color community, you want to excuse everyone because Donald Trump. What the hell does that have to do with anything? That's why I'm telling y'all, a lot of this foolishness and craziness with regard to this particular case and so many other things that we've seen, but since we talk about Nolan Wells, it's about getting a win against white people because of Donald Trump. Because I guess they forget that there's a section of black people that voted for him. And quite honestly, most black people loved Donald Trump. And, people like to rewrite history. People love to rewrite history. Like you didn't see that ninja in videos, people, not in videos, but he was all over TV. But he was being sung about, talked about. He was on the freaking Fresh Prince. Like that man was everywhere. He was on Oprah, like everywhere. Now all of a sudden he erases. I didn't say that shit didn't happen back in the 70s and 80s in his whatever. What is it? Hotels or something? But I don't know. There was a lot of shit going on in the 70s. I know that there was a charge of racism, of course, with the hotels, and I think that may have came out to be true. They wasn't hiring people. I forget. Something. But anyway. The point is that didn't stop nobody thereafter when he was popular enough. So, black people like to revise history. You don't like them because of the MAGA shit? Fine. Understood. Don't like them. You don't like them because of the DEI? Fine. Don't like them. That's really those particular companies' decisions. But for some reason, a lot of people don't see that all these companies are going to shift no matter who is in office because them asses want what they want for their damn companies and their damn business. That's business sense that your leaders are not explaining to you. Because again, y'all hate white people, but you're staying up on all these daggone platforms, and all these daggone platforms are out here supporting Republicans. So I know you can only do one thing at a time. I got it. One thing at a time. But y'all been knew about Elon Musk. You know, he racist too. And everything he did, he's a part of. What the hell did he do? Doge? Does that thing even exist anymore? But you're still over there on Twitter. Shout out to Black Twitter. Y'all still over there on Twitter like ain't nobody's business. Instagram like ain't nobody's business. YouTube like ain't nobody's business. WhatsApp like ain't nobody's business. But let's ignore all that, because now I'm a white supremacist for pointing out what is actually true. But now it makes sense to just lie and say that that's the truth, or it's my truth, or say that white people do it too. Whatever. Anyway, shout out to KB for the GOAT trophy, 1,000 jewels. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shout out to Shogun for the GOAT trophy and 1,000 jewels. I thank you so much. Shout out to everyone that is here. If you're on replay, hit the like button, hit the damn dislike button. It don't matter. All views matter. Trolls, watch your ass, because we not playing no day going forward. All right. But let's get into some Fauci, because again, we ain't done with him yet. And clearly neither is the rest of the internet, because people have selective and slow memories, and they just kind of seem to forget some things, like the vaccine that was being pushed on us under Joe Biden. But, you know, this is all Donald Trump's fault. Anyway, so this is somebody that he was talking to in 2021. Emanuel Ward warned Fauci to his face. Years later, his words hit different. So from whistleblower over here on the gram, Emanuel Ward, I don't know if he's somebody, but told Fauci the vaccine campaign was built on fear. Everything is built on fear. For the most part, all this shit is always about fear. Stoke fear in people to get them to do what you want them to do. You got to have people scared. It's easier to keep people scared. So he said he questioned the rushed timeline, the cash incentives. Oh my God, they was giving out money for, I freaking forgot about that. They were offering you money in order to get the damn backs. Y'all, I totally forgot about that. Wow. And why people had to be pressured into compliance. Pressured? Forced, I think is the word. They treated him like he didn't understand, but years later, the promises began falling apart. He saw the pattern before millions were willing to question it. Questions? What? Questions? What is that? Asking questions? Questioning what someone is saying? Questioning what someone is doing? Questions? What the fuck is that? Child, that's just crazy talk. Questions? Where that word come from? Is Tadisha here yet? I gotta see where that's at in the code. Our book, The Awakening Compass, exposes how fear is used to control perception. Wow. I'm gonna have to get that book. Grab your copy from the link. I'll keep that in mind, child. G Dubs, thank you so much for the gold coin and the jewels. Thank you for being here. Let's hear what Fauci and Manuel were saying to one another.
People in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot on a vaccination.
Yo, who's this lady? Ain't this the lady? Oh, this is thank you, Queen. This is Bowser, isn't it? Isn't that who this is?
For something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
20 years is not enough. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the common flu then, right?
It's time for the percolator. Remember, you're supposed to take the vax, and you could be around somebody that hasn't, and you were supposed to be protected. I've had that shit 3 to 4 times, meaning C19. And child, I had the one vaccination, it ain't stopped shit, okay? But all of a sudden, one day, it was just gone. Poof, just gone.
right?
And it's
much more serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people annually too.
You know how many people died of the flu the last year? I mean, not this year, virtually none, but the previous year, about 20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States? 600,000 Americans.
Well, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
Yeah, definitely. Because when you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, there's something else going on with that. Something else going on.
It is something going on.
Something else.
You're right. But I'm glad millions of people like me and most everybody here didn't get an incentive. You know what their incentive was? Protecting their health and protecting the city. But I won't keep you anymore.
It's okay, because my incentive, y'all campaign is about fear. It's about inciting fear in people. You all attack people with fear. That's what this pandemic is. It's a fear. It's fear, this pandemic. That's all it is.
Y'all didn't want to talk to him no more? Y'all didn't want to talk to him no more? You wasn't trying to listen to what he was saying? A man with questions. Shout out to that man. If I could do the clap, then I would. But you know, the sound machine ain't working. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me that man had questions and didn't go along with the get along? Shout out to Kwame Brown. Let's hear that again. Yeah, that was Bowser. So this is DC. And yo, I don't know. I'm going to let y'all tell me. Were they walking around Beverly Hills knocking on doors saying, knock, knock. Coo-hoo, we need you to take this vax. Were they going around Calabasas knocking on the door saying, coo-hoo, we need you to take this vax. We'll give you $500. We'll give you some food. We'll give you a pass to go to take the bus for free. Were they doing that in any of these white spaces and places? White people, calm down, okay? Where were they doing that at? Where were they doing it at? But child, y'all continue to just follow what anybody says just because they saying it, because it's somebody that you like and you think that they give a damn about you. Child, y'all crazy.
The people in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So
imagine not being settled with the information that was given to you right then and there. How many white people do you think live in this neighborhood where they at right here, black people? How many white people do you think is in this neighborhood that they are in right now? Bueller. But you know, at the time, Joe Biden loves you. At the time, you know, I guess because Cam was up in there, y'all was ready and willing to freaking listen. And then they said, well, Fauci is good. And y'all was like, okay. Not even thinking. The first thing I thought was, how the fuck did y'all come up with something so damn quickly? Now y'all over here talking about you can't ask no questions over this damn Nolan Wells case. There ain't no offense against him at all. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells, because it's going so far away from him at this point. Child, please, this how you get into problems and issues, because you don't ask questions. If you allow someone else to think for you, fuck you need your brain for. That's how you get into fucking stupid ass situations. Then you want to blame white people. It's your fault. It's you, because you don't question anything. Imagine blindly listening to fucking D.L. Hughley. What the fuck does that nigga know about anything except for allegedly trying to make somebody fucking laugh? He barely do that shit. You see, I'm telling you, I've never heard anybody say D.L. Hughley was their favorite comedian. And Tatum's wife is full of shit, in my opinion. But child, you know, say what you want to say. But then somebody asked some fucking questions and y'all mad. But y'all out here fighting for fucking bonnets and do-rags. Good morning, boo. He's never been funny. I don't even understand. They just must have needed somebody on that damn tour. Dave Chappelle must have said no. Child, Dave Chappelle probably said, child, I don't need y'all. I could do it by myself for the Kings of Comedy. I don't even understand how they chose that nigga.
I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot on a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time.
Miraculous time. Miraculous time. Was Fauci coming around anywhere else, child? Walking around with Bowser. This is DC, clearly. That's not weird at all. And then they bring in cameras around. Oh, that's not weird at all.
It takes years to create vaccination.
And what did I say? Child, give me that shit that's been around for like 50, 60, 70 years. Give me polio. Give me measles, mumps, and rubella. Give me that shit. This shit. Give me the chickenpox vaccine. Give me the shingles vaccine. Don't give me this shit. Y'all got that shit. Oh, yeah, I wanted to go on a cruise one time. That's it. And honestly, I shouldn't have taken that. But they were saying the same damn thing.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used
to take years, y'all. In case y'all didn't know, it used to take years. So hurry up with that vaccine or whatever to cure cancer. Where that's at, since it don't take years. It's been years. It's been decades. Where the hell is that vaccine for damn cancer?
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
20 years is not enough. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
Why she turning to sister girl right there? The only reason now because I've been vaccinated. Child, there's people in my family that's still taking that shit. Y'all got that. Y'all got that. I'm good. I've suffered through about 4 times with C19 while I was on a cruise. And I knew I was getting it. I knew I was coming down with it after I got into a full-ass elevator. And these punk motherfuckers, child, let me stop. I shouldn't have gotten an elevator with all them damn people because some people just ain't clean as far as I'm concerned. I said that, I meant that, but I ain't gonna say it out loud. But some of y'all know what I'm talking about. And somebody freaking coughed. And I was just like, Lord, help your people. Next day, I started feeling it. I had to get off, pay some crazy ass price for some damn NyQuil and DayQuil and all the quills, and was just lethargic. I was still happy to be on a cruise, but I was just lethargic, just sitting around, laying around, not eating. But y'all, if I'm gonna be sick, the Caribbean is the place to be. I tell you that.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated,
here come the threats. If thousands of people like you,
you're going to let this virus continue to.
You're going to let this virus continue. If you don't go and get it, then you are going to. That's a little rude. Not at Magic City, but I believe it. I think Atlanta stayed open too, didn't they? Florida didn't close. I think Texas didn't close. And I don't think Atlanta closed. Correct me if I'm wrong. Atlanta said, F that, we staying open.
Percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the common flu then, right?
And
something like the common flu. Now it's just the common flu. Now you just treat it like the common flu. Well, what about all them vaccines that was necessary? It just went out the window. Yup, Georgia, Texas, Florida. They said F that. They said party, and people was mad and jealous, especially about Florida for some reason.
And that's
it's much more serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people annually too.
You know how many people died of the flu the last?
I don't get the flu vaccine. I don't get it. I've never gotten it. So I figure if I get the flu, I'll treat it. Hopefully it don't get too bad.
Year. I mean, not this year, virtually none, but the previous year, about 20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States? 600,000 Americans.
Can we verify that? Because like he's about to say, more than boo, that's your numbers. That's your numbers. Now it's 600,000 people.
Now, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you gonna pass? Yeah, it sounds like he gonna pass.
When you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, there's something else going on with that.
And even if he didn't say that, first of all, I totally forgot. Nobody questioned that. It was just like, oh, well, I can get some money. Oh, you gonna give me $500 and all I need to do is take that vaccination? Shall hand it over because we like free stuff.
We like free stuff. So we came out here to get all this free stuff. Huh? But then the car saying, you can't get the free stuff. What? Cause the people want to take it. And how y'all gonna take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are Black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product? The tools, any other eviction.
Shout out to Trey for the happy poop. I see Tadisha has made it. Shout out to all of y'all. All right, let me move on over. We heard it. Let's move on over to this because I totally forgot about this. Stephen A. Smith apologizes to Kyrie Irving after calling him selfish for refusing the C-19 jab. All the memories are starting to flood back, y'all. Kyrie been through a lot where people have just compounded on that dude like he ain't shit. People like to remember what the fuck they want to remember. I totally forgot about this. And when this was going on, I was like, who the hell do these people think they are trying to tell people what the fuck they need to do? And the reasons why they need to do it, because they said so. I'm going to give Stephen A. Smith, well, let me hear it first. Let me hear it first before I say that. Let me read this. It said vigilante.fox. Stephen A. Smith, this is from 5 hours ago, approximately. Stephen A. Smith publicly apologized to Kyrie Irving after calling him selfish for refusing the C-19 jab. Hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave. I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday, and the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. We all got our memories, right? Kyrie Irving stood out in my mind because of the heat that he was taking. He refused the vaccine. New York City's mandate made him ineligible for home games. And he linked his stance to people losing jobs over vaccine mandates. Oh, how soon they forget. In my opinion, particularly hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave. His willingness to stand up and say, nah, I'm not doing that. It's just a time for reflection, to look at things differently. Instead of people talking about, oh, well, Donald Trump said, you're fucking confused. Your minds are fucking warped. It's got nothing to do with Trump. It's got to do with a time where they were basically trying to act like the things that you said that man's trying to do, forcing you to do something against your fucking free will. It wasn't a law. It was a fucking mandate. Anyway, come on.
Who had the courage to say, bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving. I bring his name up because I had my issues with him from a leadership standpoint, never as a player because he's sensational, but with him in terms of leadership. And I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving stood out in my mind because of the heat that he was taking. And how folks were piling on because that was just the latest transgression in their eyes that he was committing and subjecting the public to. He refused the vaccine. New York City's mandate made him ineligible for home games. And he linked his stance to people losing jobs over vaccine mandates. In my opinion, particularly hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave. His willingness to stand up and say, nah, I'm not doing that. It's just a time for reflection and look at things differently. But there were others who had the courage to say, bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving.
Well, at least Stephen A had the courage to apologize. Do you think that the others, because you know there are plenty of others that will not, they will not come out and apologize. They will not come out and say they were wrong. They will not come out and say maybe we got this thing wrong. There's too much. We used to look at this some time ago. When we about a year ago maybe or so, we was looking at this like, remember what these people were saying? All the celebrities. I'm going to find the ones for all them commercials, all those ads. I'm going to look for it. And we're going to go ahead and go over all that shit, all the threats, all those things that now everybody want to be fucking Harvey, what's his name, Levin, sitting up here talking about, oh, I feel bad for Dr. Fauci. Fuck you, nigga. Nobody's trying to hear that shit. Everybody want to forget some shit real damn quick. That's what's wrong with enough Americans, is that they don't want to fucking remember what was what. I told y'all they separated us at work like we was in concentration camps or some shit. But it's okay. It's okay. Ciao. Forget all that. Anyway, Mr. Clay, thank you for the floating heart. I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. Let me see. Ebony said, shout out to Tadisha. I see you, boo. Aaron Rodgers was wrapped in this apology, but I always thought that Rodgers was a weirdo. It was fitting for him. He apologized. Aaron Rodgers came out and apologized. I didn't hear this. Charles Barkley called us dumb. That dummy got the nerve to use the word dumb. I mean, I'm just saying, as illiterate as he sounds, child, these sports people came right out here. So then that means like basically ESPN is part of the problem too. I'm just saying. Kyrie lost so much money. And something else happened with him at some point with a movie or a book with regard to Jewish people or something like that. I forget. So anyway. Let's get back to this. Well, real quick, let me show you this. I think we looked at one person yesterday. Shout out to somebody that told me this in the comments. So as of July 30th, 6:36 p.m., I don't know if that's EST or PST. It says Sacramento man arrested, accused of violent threats linked to Nolan Wells' death. Everybody think the shit is a game. A Sacramento man, which is California, is in custody in the MIS on a federal charge accusing him of sending a direct message over social media threatening to delete a judge with a connection to the disappearance and death of Nolan Wells earlier this month. According to records filed in the case, Wells, 18, disappeared July 4th during a boat trip with 3 friends to Horn Island in Jackson, Mississippi, and his body was recovered 2 days later by a National Park Service ranger on a nearby island. Ashley Cole, a chancery judge whose son was among, whose son was among those 3 friends, which actually it was more than 3 friends, and I don't think that's Warren and those three friends. That 4-person picture with Nolan in it with the 3 white boys. I don't think one of them is Warren. It just don't look like him. Y'all let me know what you think about that. Ashley Cole, a chancery judge whose son was among those 3 friends earlier this month, posted screenshots of graphic death threats she said she had received via Facebook from an anonymous account with the username Yay962. The Biloxi-based Sun Herald newspaper reported. Is there more? Joseph Alfredo Vasquez DeMarchi of Sacramento is being held on a federal charge of interstate transmission of a threatening communication, a crime that carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, a fine up to $250,000, and up to 3 years of post-release supervision. Agents with the FBI Safe Streets Task Force identified DeMarchi, who used the Yay962 username, by tracing email IP addresses associated with the account, including Moneybag IO Joe 1916, along with a date of birth, phone number, and street address linked to the account. So I guess that's her. Yeah. So this must be what's his name, stepmother, I guess. Investigators said the information resulted in the identity of DeMarchi as the user behind the account that sent messages to Cole. So you thought you was going to send some messages to a fucking judge and you was going to get away with it? Goodbye. The charging document also cited one of the many messages DeMarque sent to Cole, including some previously cited by Cole that included threats with pictures of her children. The document also cited some of the messages, including the following. There will be a package coming to your guy's office in the next few days. It's going to blow you away when you see it. Laugh out loud. Probably best to have the boys there to see as well. Blood. So much blood everywhere. Hard to clean, especially from a boat. But yours will be quick, I promise. I got all you info. Not even the FBI can stop this. Once that package is open, the timer will start, and then you have maybe 10 seconds or less to ask God for forgiveness. Other messages allegedly threaten that Cole's sons are going to be strangled. Federal authorities said the direct messages were sent to Cole's Facebook account in the aftermath of the disappearance and subsequent death of Wells from Ocean Springs. So this is I guess the list of the messages. Cole's stepson, Warren Hudson, was among the friends who spent the 4th of July. Yeah, so there you go. So it was Warren. Hudson was one of three boats that traveled to the island with Wells. The friends returned to the mainland without Wells, but had his cell phone. 2 days later, a National Park Service ranger found his body on the northwest tip of Horn. Hudson has denied any involvement in his friend's death. This post from Ashley says, our family, along with the community, grieves the loss of Nolan Wells. Our thoughts and prayers are with Nolan's family. Our son Warren loved Nolan dearly. Unfortunately, I feel that it is appropriate for our family to dispel some rumors with facts based upon the social media attention that is being diverted away from the Wells family in their loss. Yes, I deactivated my Facebook, given the very heightened emotional state of social media right now. All right. Anyway, according to investigators, DeMarque is among multiple people accused of sending threats to Cole and her family. DeMarque in 2019 was arrested by the Sacramento Police Department on suspicion of exposing himself to and then attempting to kidnap a 13-year-old girl outside of a Meadowview Elementary School. Child, can't make this shit up. According to an entry in Megan's Law, California's ex-offender registry, DeMarque was convicted in 2019 of annoying or lomesting a child under 18, and in 2020 of sending harmful matter with the intent of seducing a... Oh my God. He's a peach. He's wonderful. Dr. Benjamin Hudson, Cole's husband, has said the family has received thousands of death threats since Wells disappeared and was later found dead. Following Wells's death, his parents, Elmore and Christine, hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Blah, blah. Chancery courts in Mississippi handle legal issues, including equity disputes, family law, estate matters, and land record cases. And chancery judges, also called chancellors, typically hear trials without a jury present. Cole is a judge for the state's 16th district attorney, which covers George, Greene, and Jackson County. All right. So, you know, people just try to act like people taking care of their own family is some weird shit. And it's crazy to think that they're going to protect their damn family, child, because one's a doctor and one's a judge. So I guess they're supposed to just let it fly because they're white and because Nolan is black. Like when they saying this, it's like, okay, so black people can't be judges. You know that there's plenty of black judges. You know that there are plenty of black doctors. But because these people are doing what they need to do to protect their family, that's weird. So they're just supposed to sit around and just take the shit. Hell, the Walmsleys, they need to stay off the social media. If they're upset with what they're seeing on social media, they need to stay off of it because it's not going to get any better. And if they got some shit going on, they need to go ahead and do the same damn thing. On page 901, it's not allowed. Oh, okay. White people are not allowed to fight for themselves. It's on page 901 of the code. Got it. Shout out to Tadisha here, doing a damn good job as far as the code is concerned. I just don't understand. And they set up there, the Walmsleys now have filed against the social media companies, but we're going to listen to somebody else with regard to why hasn't anyone done anything with regard to the phone that allegedly has all the deleted messages on it. But unfortunately, we got to re-listen to this nigga right here. All right. So this is the first part. We're going to listen to this, then we're going to go into what Tatum said. So DL and Tatum are going tete-a-tete because, of course, you can't not believe everything that everybody is saying negatively about the white people, and everything that they say about Nolan is true. And if you go against it and you're black, then you're a white supremacist talking points to Uncle Ruckus, Auntie Ruckus, and all the other names, because you have to listen to them, ask no questions, and go along with the get along, or you're not black. So call me not black, all right? Because I got questions, and seemingly nobody has any damn answers. And even when these people have their theories and they say that this is what happened, those boys red rummed. Did you hear anybody take any of that back yet? Because now all of a sudden, since Bart is in the picture, that's not what they were saying originally, and we know it. So you heard any of them take what they said back yet? Because I haven't seen it, and y'all ain't sent it to me. People that were saying, this is what they did because it's Mississippi. Like the dumbest reasons. Because it's Mississippi, they had to do it. Okay, now there's a thought. That makes no sense. Because of what happened to Emmett Till, they did it. Oh, okay. So now that you know that they didn't do it, now you heard Bart allegedly on that call. Now you're saying it's Bart. Well, what happened to saying that it was Warren, Earl, Wyatt, Jim Bob, Child, whatever their names are? What happened to that? But Child, what happened to that? So y'all ain't got nothing to say? Y'all don't want to take nothing back? Y'all don't want to do no apologies? Y'all don't want to say that you was wrong? Y'all don't want to say that you made a mistake? Oh, just leave that out? Okay, Child, leave it out there. So now you want to go after Bart. Bart family said, F y'all, I ain't got time for your bullshit. And now y'all mad that someone is defending themselves. But y'all giving all this money to the Wamsleys. Give your money how you want to. I don't give a damn. Not near damn. Okay. But you're not you're not questioning anything with regard to them. You're not questioning, like I just said, which I heard another content creator say. Why haven't they given that phone up yet? They say something, you believe it, like that's it. It's true. Somebody else says something, it's not true. It's lies. Oh, okay. Got it. Y'all got that. So let's listen to this clown. We already know where he stands. And then we'll go listen to Tatum.
Brandon Tatum. Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore. You were a football player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. You talked about emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him. That's not emotion. You talked of the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I can't read Benjamin Crump is just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now, I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar Evers. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account about. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened, But if you're saying that that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days, and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. You know that. Your name is your moniker is Officer Tatum, not Detective Tatum. You didn't make your way to detective. You're an influencer who says what white people want you to say. And don't you find it interesting that they chose to speak to you? And they chose to speak to you for the same reason that you're a conservative, for the same reason Turning Point did, because you're safe. They know you're a black man who'll do what he's told. You're an unremarkable black man who they know they can count on to be obedient. They pick you for the same reason they pick dogs. What is very interesting to me is this is Nancy Grace.
I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own, and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies.
Now, Nancy Grace is a career prosecutor. She has tried 100 felony trials, 100, and not lost one. And she thinks that's something suspicious. But the social media influencer who failed at football and was a mediocre cop all of a sudden knows more than that. I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. But I do know this. You said that a young woman with a pot of water acted so suspiciously that she should be shot by cops.
I think that this is justified, but it could have been avoided, but still justified. You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
But you don't think people that want to vote with somebody in proximity to somebody and that person comes that day acting so suspicious they should be questioned? That's who you are. Debate you for what? What you are is what the people before you, you're Diamond and Silk, you're Candace Owens, you're Stacey Dash, you're that. And your career will age like avocados because that's what they do. There'll be somebody else that replaces you. I've been around for 40 years doing what I do, and you still know my name. You know how I got to know yours? Somebody sent me a coon alert. They said, and you fit the bill. I don't know who you are, but I know what you are. I know what you do because I've seen people like you in my entire life. You can assail my career, but my career is longer than your life. You mentioned my name, and I have no idea who you are. But I do know this, that one day, when all of this is done, and it'll be after the next election cycle, when people are wondering who you are, when you go the way of the Larry Elders or the Sheriff Clarks or the Candace Owens or the Diamond and Silks or the Stacey Dashes or the Armstrong, like all of them, when you're there with them and you're wondering what happened, it's because you sold your soul for nothing.
Let me just say this, and I know people gonna clip this and get that, and I don't care. I really feel this way. I'm getting sick of black people. Right. I like the black people like me and others that are conservative, that's smart. But the rest of y'all, I'm sick of y'all. It's hard to even want to be around black people, to be honest.
I have never once, and I've had a disagreement with a lot of black people that I've had disagreement, but I've never once had to make a video explaining I don't hate black people.
I do not hate black people. I know that people who are new to my channel and you see people out there making these videos, it's comical to me because I don't understand how accountability leads to hate.
You said you can't teach me. You can't make me hate white people. You said that.
You want me to hate white people. I'm not doing it.
My question is it making you hate white people? I don't want that at all. What I want to know is who the fuck taught you to hate us?
All right, that was a lot. And I'm not about to play it again because we didn't finish it yesterday. So that was the whole thing. All right. Now, some of these things that DL is saying, I do agree with him, child, because I told you, I listen to Tatum sometimes, but sometimes he is way off and he do sound crazy. Now, I have no reason to go out here and call him names because, child, that nigga think what he want to think. Let him think what the fuck he want to think. All right. It ain't got shit to do with me. DL Hughley, I don't give a damn what he got to say. It ain't got shit to do with me. But you do see these two going back and forth regardless. It's a lot of like I don't even put Ben Crump in this. I give him a pass from this perspective. But these two going back and forth, these supposed to be men. They're going back and forth like women, in my opinion. Who cares? You bringing attention to him, to me, meaning DL Hughley. You got the bigger platform. You're the bigger name. We not going to act like that's not a thing. You're going to bring attention to this. You're bringing attention to him. You want to do this for your people. Let's be honest, right? But it's still two men. That's what I'm seeing. One is clearly on one side, one is clearly on the other side. All right, then let it be. So he said something about you, maybe. Who gives a damn? So you telling me, DL Hughley, now all of a sudden you care about what somebody might say about you or whatever? His wife, meaning Tatum's wife, is up here talking about you was her favorite comedian. You didn't have to put his wife on the picture. I think that was completely wrong of him when he made the first post and put his wife on there. He wanted to dog whistle, as they call it, to let everybody know that this black man is married to a white woman. Because, gentlemen, you already know, and clearly there's the LTMs that feel the same way, that you can't be with anyone but black women. And when you are, you're a coon, you ain't shit, you don't like yourself, you don't like your mama, you don't like black people. Let's not act like we don't know. So that's what he was trying to do with that. Is it kind of like, I mean, I guess it's not, child, what is it when you, I forget now, when you put somebody out here, I forget what it's called. When you put somebody out here, none of these people knew that, because just like you said, nobody knew who the hell, this crowd probably didn't know who Tatum was. The only reason I know who Tatum is because clearly I'm on YouTube. That's the only reason. There's no other reason I would know him. So now you're bringing more attention to him. Now you're out here outing his wife. For what reason? To let everyone know that he's married to a white, thank you, Kennard, doxing, yes. So you're out here basically doxing his wife. That's okay, though. I'm sure everyone is okay with that. You know that's going to get black women riled up because he's black, married to a white woman, before they even knew what he had to say. Because that's what that always does. Because black men can't be with anyone but black women can be with every white person in the world. And you don't hear nobody talking about that. Now, do you? You don't hear nobody talking about none of that, do you? Because that's okay. That's celebrated in the community. What page is that, Tadisha? That's acceptable. That's okay. So while DL is going to come out here and say all his same old shit that he always says, he ain't no better. I don't know why he thinks he is, and listen to who you want to listen to. He ain't no better. We'll go ahead and take a look to see what Tatum said in response to, oh, no, let me address the crying. How many times do, shout out to Disha, page 856. How many times do when men and women be on these damn panels talking about these relationships, 50-50, the relationships. I don't want a man. I don't need a man. You need a man. Oh yeah, I need a man. Men ain't shit. All that shit. We want you to be vulnerable. Man over here crying for whatever his reasons. I'm assuming he was crying over Charlie Kirk in that scene that he just put up there. Allegedly, but I'm assuming it was Charlie Kirk. So then he's talking about you up here sniffing, snotting, and crying over Charlie Kirk, and allegedly. And how you gonna sit up here and do this? So 1 minute be vulnerable, the next minute don't. We can go ahead and be vulnerable with one another. Then you out here making fun of one another. These are two men. These are not even women. These are two fucking men, and two black men at that. Oh, you over here sniffing and snotting. Okay, well, if he was sniffing and snotting over Nolan Wells, I bet you would be okay with that. Or, I don't know, Michael Jackson, then you would be okay with that. But because it was whoever the hell it is that he gives a damn about, now all of a sudden you want to make fun of some black man who was being vulnerable on the damn internet. Child, y'all already know not to do that shit anyway. Not only do you have to worry about women, you got to worry about low testosterone males. I'm telling y'all, I said it before, I say it again. I'm not saying that the pro-blacks don't, think that this is a pro-black issue, but they're also doing this because DL is one of the main people, low testosterone male, that's trying to get people to vote Democrat. All this shit is the same shit that we just heard from that man talking about Fauci, is to instoke fear to make sure that black people come to, and Democratic people come to polls and make sure that they vote Democrat. This is going to be used until the fucking midterms. You cannot tell me anything different. Stoke the fears, make them scared, tell them how bad white people are, and racism is over on Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, MAGA. And you can't vote for none of them because this is what they gonna do. It ain't happened yet, but mark my words, it's coming. That's what this is about. I'm not saying that some people don't care about the truth and everything. I really believe that many people do want to know what the truth is, okay? But those people that are just coming out here just saying the white people did it, coming out here talking about them white boys did it, coming out here saying it's Mississippi, Emmett Till, all that shit is just to get people all riled up. That's it. That's it. That ain't got shit to do with shit. He's for 1 second, I don't need to watch D.L. Hughley to know what he's saying any other time about this case. Them white boys down there, because he's the same as Ben Crump. Them white boys. So ignore all of their fucking friendship. Y'all just toss that out the window like you don't see 1,000,001 pictures of these people. They talking about what they did together. You see what they used to do together, but today they decided to be racist. But then with this, all of a sudden, it's like, now he's trying to be like he's equal. You don't know what happened, and we don't know what happened. We just trying to get to the truth. No, you're not. You're trying to stroke the flames of racism and keep black people scared, so that you can have Ricky Smiley come out and say, I can't be around white people because now I feel scared. I'm sure he went to work since he said that, and I'm pretty sure it's mostly white people in that building that he go to film that damn show that he does. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Shout out to Wayne Lundy. Thank you so much for your generosity. Good morning to you, boo. He said, it's never too early for smoke. Why y'all ain't wake me up and tell me auntie was cooking? I got smoke for all my friends here. I got kids. What about their feelings? Only people's kids that count, I guess, at this point are the Wamsley's kids, child. I don't know. And they got like several kids between them. But we'll talk about that another time. Let's hear what Tatum has to say. What time is it? Oh shit, it's after 7 already. So Tatum responds. He says, is this Instagram? Yeah. It says, I used to respect D.L. Hughley back in the day. But watching him evolve into a total beta male who complains online for a living is just pathetic. Beta is basically the equivalent to LTM. Unfunny ex-comedian. Oh, he not a comedian no more? D.L. Hughley attacks me online while ignoring his own family failures. Oh, no. All right. Wait. Why is it not working? Hold on a second. Oh, now it's
Hughley is not on my level. One point in time, D.L. Hughley used to be the man. At one point in time, I used to like D.L. Hughley, and I thought he was funny.
Fuck that nigga.
Now, he was not even the top 5 in the Kings of Comedy, in my opinion. But I thought I respected his game. Just to grow up and realize D.L. Hughley is a simp, and he's a beta, and he's a crybaby, allegedly worth $10 million, but he's still crying about the white man every day. And he cried about the white man, yet he worked for white men companies. He's so black that he don't even care about black women enough to not cheat on his wife. He posted a picture of my wife. At least I ain't cheating on my wife. He cheated on his wife, got an outside baby. And
hold on. If you want to continue to be here spouting your bullshit, take the caps down. Do one more time with caps, you the fuck out of here.
Very unfortunate situation happened with his outside baby. And he want to come at me when he wasn't even there to protect his children. Then his young daughter gets into first of all, D.L. Hughley is not on my level. One point in time, D.L. Hughley used to be the man. At one point in time,
I don't know about that.
I used to like D.L. Hughley, and I thought he was funny. Now he was not even the top 5. A sexual situation with a minor, where they both were minors, and she came to her dad in confidence, her black father, in confidence, and said she was being abused, and he didn't believe her. Brother, why are you talking about me? Why are you talking about me? You need to be worried about your own household. All the drama I just mentioned with his inner family ain't now one of the suspects in that situation white. A white man didn't cheat on your wife. A white man didn't abuse your daughter. And a white man didn't take the life of your infant child whom you had out of wedlock while you were married. These are all black people doing this.
Ooh.
And yet you cry about white people every day of the week.
I'll just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
People consider me as Officer Tatum because I became famous as Officer Tatum. a sexual situation with a minor, Officer Tatum, and D.L. Hughley, that's your stage name. You still going by your stage name, Negro. You ain't even a comedian no more, passing out on stage and stuff. You ain't even funny no more. But you going by D.L. Hughley.
You talked about it.
He said, I didn't make the team, or I didn't make it to the NFL. Okay. I don't think that's anything somebody can be sad about. And I'm also glad I don't have CTE either. So it's not all bad. You would never make it to, you won't even make it to college. You were in high school. Little beta male talking about it. Then I became a cop. What did I do as a cop? I protected black people with my life. D.L. Hughley is telling jokes, Officer Tatum. And D.L. Hughley, that's your stage name.
All right, so Tatum could have went a lot further, in my opinion, or maybe he just doesn't know. Because while everybody want to get behind D.L. Hughley, and everybody makes mistakes, let me just go on and say everybody makes mistakes, but it's certain people who can come back from their mistakes, and there's certain people who can never come back from their mistakes. Now, to say that I didn't know that Tatum went and tried to be a football player or something and it didn't work out. Imagine saying that you didn't make it to be a football player and say that as something as a negative. Imagine saying that from one black man to another black man, from man to man, and just to interject that like that means something. But people seem to want to forget that D.L. Hughley was out here talking about nappy-headed black hoes. And he was talking about the WNBA. I believe he was on, was it child, what is that white man that's dead, child? He used to be on radio. Imus? Remember Imus? Some white old crusty man from way back when. I can't believe this. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like he was on the Tonight Show or something, but he was on some white man show talking about black women, nappy-headed hoes. But that can be forgiven. Forget all that. Cool. All right, you forgive him. Yes, he did not believe his black daughter when she said that one of his friends allegedly low-mested her. Remember when Monique brought it up, when DL and Monique was going back and forth? You remember that? And then she brought it up and everybody was so upset with her, but DL can always talk about somebody else. Yeah, no, I can't stand DL Hughley. I cannot stand DL Hughley. He's a fucking hypocrite. And for all the people that's on his side, be on his fucking side, then that's fine. But he still ain't shit. Because just on the strength of one, let's take the nappy-headed hoes out, because all these black women are always worried about, I ain't got wearing my hair. How you talk about black women? But all of a sudden, DL is okay. All right, I'm gonna let that go. But him choosing a man feminist, misandrist, he chose a man over his own daughter, a friend over his own daughter, in what she was saying that he allegedly did to her, which turned out to probably be true, but I'm gonna stay on the allegedly side, right? He chose his friend over her. But that's okay too, child. Y'all can forgive all that, right? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That will never be okay for me. In my opinion, that's something that can never be okay. You want to talk about Tatum not making it to the football, NFL? All right, whatever. It's like, okay, well, I guess he must have made it. You want to talk about that he was only an officer and I guess didn't go up on the ranks? All right, whatever. I guess you can do that. You want to say that he's a conservative? Okay, that's really what the issue is. The issue is the fact that he's conservative and he's not pro-black. That's the real issue. So that's what the issue is with a lot of black people. Okay, that's your issue. So you can forgive women, feminists, the fact that this black man that you follow chose a man over his daughter, a female, and y'all can let that go? Cool. Y'all like it, I love it. Stay out of my fucking face, okay? That shit is a fucking fact. It's interesting what it is that you will allow to go and fly in the interest of what the fuck it is that you believe in right then and there. I ain't even gonna go into all the other shit that nigga has done, because the one thing that's, oh no, I'm lying, I forgot. His wife, black women and feminists, he's married to a black woman. That's good, Charles. Congratulations, he's married to a black woman, okay? He cheated on his wife. Y'all okay with that? That's acceptable? That's cool? He's the best. D.L. Hughley's the best. Is he? And wished that he didn't, that woman wouldn't have the baby. That the one he cheated with on his wife, that he got pregnant. This is all verifiable shit. That he got pregnant. And then he said, because this was happening, this was replayed out when he was going back and forth with Monique about 2 years ago. Then he went, when she was in the hospital when she lost the baby, and he's like, all the family members was looking at me crazy. Of course the fuck they was looking at you crazy. Because he also wished that the baby wouldn't come. He didn't want that baby. I mean, he wanted all that pleasure that he was taking in order to make that baby, but then the consequence came and he ain't want nothing to do with it. So she lost the damn baby. I don't know why. Now that resolved and solved his damn problem. So he wasn't trying to stand by that black woman while he was over here cheating on this other black woman. Y'all all good in the hood with forgiving D.L. Hughley for all that. Cool. This is why I don't follow people, because your logic and the things that you justify don't be making no damn sense. Especially when you dogging men every day talking about what they do wrong, especially the colored community, but then turn around talking about what somebody like me is saying about the colored community because your little feelings is hurt about some shit that's allegedly probably true. But I tell you what's definitely true. Everything that was just said about DL motherfucking Hughley. So follow that nigga. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that nigga as far as I'm concerned. I said Tatum is wrong for saying that allegedly bringing Coca into this conversation. Absolutely inappropriate. He definitely shouldn't have done that. He ain't shit for that shit. He ain't shit for that shit. If black people want to be conservative, they can be conservative. That doesn't mean that they're going against the race. If black people want to be Republican, it's okay. It doesn't mean that they're going against the race. I don't know about MAGA, because MAGA is the equivalent to right now, what is it, DSA if I'm not mistaken? And what did they used to be before that? Tea Party and whatever it was on the other side. Y'all always coming up with these different crazy ass people. What is Marjorie Taylor Greene was something crazy too? QAnon. They always coming up with something politically, some crazy ass shit on both damn sides. But for some reason, black people only see what goes on over here, but not over here. But they seeing it now this damn term with these DSA MFers. They seeing it now with these DA MFers because they're basically taking over. Because these old MFers need to let it the fuck go and let these young people do what the fuck they gonna do, because it seems like they making it happen anyway. Because there's a bunch of lazy ass motherfuckers that want the government to take care of them. Y'all got that. Leave us out of it, because I can take care of myself. We can take care of ourselves over here, specifically Generation X. Y'all wait for the government to take care of you. But that's going into another direction. So at the end of the day, both of them look crazy for doing this, in my opinion. That's just me. And Pot Kettle, it's especially, and I'm thinking DL Hughley is the worst, because even though Tatum is married to a white woman, you know that's the biggest crime in the black community, that a black man is married to somebody that's not a black woman. That is the biggest crime. DL Hughley married to a black woman. Again, congratulations to him, but cheating on her and creating a child out of wedlock with someone else, and then wishing something happens to that baby, and then calling black women nappy-headed hoes on the WNBA. All is forgiven for that. Child, y'all miss me with your bullshit. Captain Cold-Blooded, I thank you so much for the jewels. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Wayne with another 20. Thank you, Boo. He said him and Ricky, two males whose job is to be funny, told me I was going to be picking cotton. Lest we not forget that. And was going to be in chains. Don't forget that. The joke's on them. Sassy ass straights up. Shout out to the sassy straights up in here, I see y'all. I appreciate you. Please know and understand, sassy straights, the black ones, you are only good when you are a criminal or you are deceased. And we're seeing a lot about the deceased lately. And criminals, actually. Captain Cold-Blooded, thank you for the, does that say chili? Sorry, I missed that. Thank you, boo. I appreciate you. And thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate you. Coon Lee, good morning, boo. Always, always good to see you. Thank you for the Unk Alert and another Unk Alert. Shout out to you. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button for me. Hit the damn dislike button. I don't give a damn. Subscribe if you are normal. All right. So that's it with these two niggas. I don't give a damn. I'm over it. All right. Let's go to Ruin Leon. Shout out to Ruin Leon. He did a video called Falsely Accusing Someone of Deleting Nolan Wells Will Get You Sued. Everybody thinks everything is a game until it's not.
That came out of them boys on that boat incriminating themselves. They would have kept gaslighting the black community and telling us that we tripping, and that boy Nolan went out there and drowned on his own. Yeah. If it wasn't for independent journalism, if it wasn't for black media, if it wasn't for us on social media continuing to bring this up, they would have swept this under the rug, just like they continue to do case after case after case. We've seen it with Trey Reed. We've seen it with Kendrick Johnson. We've seen it with Julia and Zeta. We've seen it over and over and over again. They don't take it serious. They see us as a 2-week news cycle. They think that social media in the black community is a 2-week news cycle of outrage, and then we forget about things. No, we are on your neck. We will not let up. We will continue to show you all over and over and over again that we are not tripping, that you continue to not investigate the places and the things that's happening to our black community, and the young black boys and girls in our community are getting killed in no investigation. There should be no reason that the FBI shouldn't be all over this saying there's foul play, and then there's an investigation for murder. Why can't they just come out and say they're investigating this case for a murder? Why can't they say that? What is the issue? They're going to keep gaslighting us to make us think that something so heinous could happen like this, where they would keep his phone, say that their alibis are not even lining up. A career criminal wouldn't even try to gaslight us like this. A career criminal wouldn't just kill somebody in cold blood and then expect themselves to get away.
Now listen to what this person is saying, all over nothing but being gassed up, probably allegedly, by TikTok, and listening to people like DL Hughley. Archive TV, thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate you.
When there's so much evidence against them, a career criminal would know that you don't do this to somebody on the 4th of July with all of these people around, all of these witnesses, all of this technology in this new era. And the alibi's not adding up.
If I sped this up, child, he might talk normal, but I sped this up because I feel like I can't even listen to people speak normally anymore. So this is going fast because I got it on 1.5.
They saying that he stayed behind to be with some girl. Where's the girl? Ask her what happened. A career criminal would know that somebody will break by now, that somebody will talk by now, that somebody's story wouldn't line up by now. And they're going to keep on gaslighting us. And they're going to keep on sending Officer Tatum type people down there to interview these half black kids and put it in our face because they think that we think that this is a 2-week news cycle. I'm keeping up with every single case. I'm still watching Colin Wiley. I'm still watching them twins that was out in them mountains in Georgia. I'm still watching Kendrick Johnson. I'm still watching Julia that got hanged. I'm still watching Trey Reed. For the families behind these victims, just know you're not by yourself. We still with you. We still with you.
So in the span of 48 hours, we've stepped into a new territory of fan fiction regarding Nolan Wells, and it's randomly pointing at people and saying, you did it, so let's fixate on you. And right now, the current suspect in a lot of people's eyes is somebody named Bart, who apparently, if you listen back to the audio that's been circulating, is heard on there, and somebody's yelling out, damn it, Bart, and now it's got everybody thinking, oh, Bart, what did you do? Bart, it must be you. Bart, you're the guy we're looking for now. And I think it's a dangerous game for those people to do that, because if you don't actually have any evidence to prove that this person did something, it wouldn't be wise for you to get on social media, as I've been saying for the past number of days, to get on social media and say this happened. Because if it's true, congratulations, you got so lucky saying something and it ended up being correct. But
that's all it would be, is luck. That's it. This is all speculation, and the few things that we might have gotten that are coming to be true based off of what these people said and what they put on social media, like Mrs. Walmsley did. But let them go. Thank you, Boo, for another 10. He says this is just like the fake mystic psychic who kept claiming she knew who the Red Rummer was. Now said mystic psychic is being sued for 10 million. Who's this? Stop making up stories. Don't be Somalian. The fake mystic psychic about this or about something else? I did not hear about that. Keep me posted on that. I don't know what you're talking about. Damus Yeah, thank you so much for the heart. I appreciate you. Again, y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are normal.
If it ends up being wrong, you just falsely accuse somebody of something they didn't do, which could possibly open you up for a little bit of legal trouble. Because ex-teammate of Nolan Wells will sue over online death accusations that he alleged.
Don't that white boy look like the dude from Saved by the Bell? What's his name? The white guy from Saved by the Bell, child. I didn't watch that. That's my kids' time, I believe.
It just spurred a death threat. Bart Edmonston, a former teammate of Nolan Wells on the Ocean Springs High School football team, is set to pursue defamation claims after alleging that a flurry of unfounded accusations on social media led to a death threat. Russ Latino, can't possibly be your real name, a lawyer and the CEO of a nonprofit news publication, Magnolia Tribune, announced that he was representing Edmonston in a Facebook post alleging that defamatory statements are putting Bart and his family and friends in harm's way. Latino did not say who the initial lawsuit will target, but did note that many individuals on social media have made posts alleging without evidence that Edmonston played a role in Wells' death.
So Bart Edmonston was jealous of Nolan because he was pushing up on his girl or ex-girl or whatever the situation is or was. But you didn't want the melanated brother to holler at Katie, because even if you're not together or were together or are together, I don't know the whole story. But it had to do with a girl, didn't it? The melanated brother was not supposed to be speaking to Katie. That's how Bart felt. So the reason why Ben Crump and Christine Wansley have been harassed and or threatened is because the truth has unfolded. The audio is out there. Everybody has heard it. Listen, a 76-year-old gentleman, he said, "Did you hear the audio?" I said, "Listen, the whole world done heard it."
So word around town is allegedly Katie was fucking around with Bart back in the motherfucking day and said she want to jump ship and hop on that BBC, which is Nolan Wells, allegedly, and was fucking with Big Dog Nolan. You feel me? And Bart didn't like that. He ain't like that. I'm just saying, that's word around town.
Gentlemen, sassies, shout out to the sassy straights, the black ones. Y'all got that good thing going on. Listen, all right, Wayne, I hear you. I see you. Thank you, hon. Y'all got that thing going real good. You know what she talking about. I even heard someone else saying it. I'm not going to mention no names of where I heard and what I heard and how they was describing it. So they fetishizing y'all in the same way. But then in 15 minutes, it'd be like, y'all broke. You ain't got shit. You ain't about shit. You ain't doing shit. And all you do is leave single baby moms all over the place. But for this time, y'all the bomb. Y'all got that bomb OPP. Y'all giving out grade A all over the place, child. Child, please.
You know what I'm saying? And there's pictures going around showing Katie with Bart and his hand around her waist and doing all that, but she didn't want that for real. And that's why he was mad. Baby, this shit get real juicy. And you know what? It ain't funny. I ain't trying to joke about the shit, but something to be figured out, because now I'm starting to feel like allegedly there's motive behind this.
So they saying that Katie is Bart's ex. Katie, the one that Nolan was laid up with, is Bart's ex. And on the audio call, you can hear them saying Bart's name. This is crazy. This is crazy. So, Katie, you laid up with Nolan and your ex feeling some type of way, allegedly. What is happening? And the crazy thing is, like, I don't know why y'all so quiet about it. The truth is going to unravel very, very soon. TikTok doing their thing, you know?
TikTok is doing their thing. Whoever said that the Chinese, it was Chinese that owned TikTok originally, has destroyed the minds of a lot of Americans. Not only Americans, but all we care about is Americans. So yes, I do agree. So TikTok is the source of information for everything, y'all. TikTok is the best thing. That's where this damn quote unquote smoking gun of a video came from, a heifer on damn TikTok. Now she got a whole GoFundMe. But at least Ben Crump is now going to allow it to be reviewed by a real forensic or audio expert or something, whatever the hell it was called. So I give him credit for that, instead of people just believing what the hell some fucking TikToker says. This is ridiculous. Shout out to Wayne Lunday for 10 memberships. Thank you so much, boo. If you are getting a membership, please make sure you go ahead and thank Wayne Lunday for it. Shout out to all the channel members. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for all your support, boo. Shout out to all y'all that are here. If you're on replay, hit the like button for me. Hit the dislike button. It don't matter. Subscribe if you are normal.
Better than the FBI. Katie and Bart are exes. The person that allegedly has something to do with his death, with Nolan's death. Interesting. The cover-up is insane, how all of those people were there and nobody seems to know what's going on. Nobody has an answer.
All right, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and do a reading for Bart Edmonston.
And that right there is the problem, because I'm certain at some point throughout this day, it's going to make headway and all of these people are going to sit there and puff out their chest and say, why are you threatening litigation on us? We didn't do anything. We're saying allegedly. We're speculating. We could do this. We could do. You are creating unfounded claims and making the investigation worse. You are potentially putting people in harm's way by claiming this person did something, that person did something. And I'm sorry, but saying in Minecraft or allegedly don't really help you as much as you think it does. Y'all are taking legal advice from motherfuckers who have never been hired to actually do anything. And it puts you in these predicaments that get you into potential trouble. And when you are falsely accusing random guys of doing things without evidence, you set yourself up. And that's why I've been saying, even though it's very difficult for some people to do it, and maybe it's because my tone of voice is a little aggressive, the process is slow. And these true crime freaks who are never to be trusted with any investigation ever are not going to help you speed this process up. They're making it stupider. They're making it dumber. They're making it worse. Now, there's the potential for somebody to face some litigation because y'all are dedicated into fan fiction rather than actual information. That's going to be a slow process to come out. It is not a skin in the Fortnite item shop. It's not you randomly getting access to a new trend on social media. This is an investigation that pertains to a young man's dead body. This is not something that you could get quick off of StockX. You need to dedicate patience to this. But when you don't, and you start randomly accusing people of shit, you run into a significant problem. Though the circumstances and the cause of Wells' death remain unclear, speculation has spread across social media platforms, with many users accusing multiple of Wells' friends and their family members of being involved in the death or having racist motives.
Shout out to Leon. I'll let him continue in a second. Descent to Sigma, that is a great point. Kind of ironic that the no snitch community is mad about people not snitching. It's all pick and choose. Tadisha, what page is that on? Because that's absolutely what would be said. But now all of a sudden, no. That's crazy talk, y'all. This is just crazy talk. Shout out to Dave Anderson, the business bully, up in here. I appreciate you for the silver star. Shout out to you, boo. It's very interesting. Now all of a sudden, everybody should be snitching. Why does the internet think that anybody owes the internet an explanation? That's the part that's crazy. If they've talked to the cops, the oppressors, then I think that's all they're required to do. They are not required to come out to the internet and say shit. Not near none. Not near none. So I don't know where that crazy ass theory came from, but no one is required to talk to the internet. I think that part has been lost as well. Think what you want about what you want with what you have, but none of these people that are involved, and honestly, excuse me, it's probably best if they might be under suspicion, because no one really knows who that the police think is under suspicion. I don't think anybody really knows. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Tadisha's busy this morning. All right. My bad. Let me stop talking. Let me stop calling her name. My bad. She gonna watch the replay and be like, damn, my bad. I'm sorry. I forgot my train of thought. Shout out to Tadisha. She be keeping us up to date on where stuff is at in the code. Come on, Leon.
Those, for example, the illustrious mayonnaise, and how people of the white caucus are desperate to uphold their standards. You know, the type of ritual sacrifice that those white people clearly do. Those kinds of accusations Latino alleged on Wednesday morning have endangered his client's safety. Edmonston graduated from Ocean Springs High School in 2023 and is a current punter at the University of Wyoming. Social media users began spreading speculation about Edmonston after claiming to hear the name Bart mentioned in a garbled audio at the beginning of a call that one of Wells' friends placed to sea tow. The friends on the imperiled boat ultimately canceled their sea tow call after Edmonston arrived on his boat to assist them. Bart received a credible death threat yesterday because some of the made-up speculation on this and other sites, the FBI, state, and local law enforcement have been activated. So now you potentially might get a knock on your door asking, hey, did you spread this information? Hey, did you say this online about this person? Hey, did you do this? Did you do that? And ultimately, it does not help the investigation into Nolan Wells. If you're somebody who's desperate for a little bit of justice for Nolan because you believe something nefarious happened to him, randomly pointing the blame at people don't get justice to him. No, it does not help when you sit there and say, oh, Ben Crump, you should look at this. Ben Crump, get a look at this. Ben Crump ain't acknowledging you motherfuckers. Ben Crump has to do his job. And currently, I guess the update is they're going to start civilly going after everybody who was close to Nolan Wells or had last seen Nolan Wells, which, depending on how you want to look at it, may be justice, may be a cash grab. Who knows? But that's a process they're going through that took time to get to. And no amount of making up some random fucking story got them to this point at all. But let's keep going. The attorney also said in a follow-up post that some social media posts have used a high school photo of Edmonston, who is now 21, claiming that it shows him with Katie McCormick, a woman who Wells was spending time with on Horn Island on the day he died. Latino wrote that some on social media have gone on to falsely claim that Bart had an intimate relationship with Miss McCormick and that he killed Nolan Wells because Wells was speaking to her. The person in the circulating photograph with a much younger Bart is not Katie McCormick. Bart is not now, nor has ever been in.
I wonder if they heard that. We heard that yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, that the person that's in the picture that they're putting out saying that it's Katie ain't Katie, but they're still saying that it's Katie and was saying, I should say, is that right? And was saying, all right, you know what I'm saying, that it was Katie, and they already said that that's not who it is, but they ain't taking nothing back. And any apologies, any of my bads, my fault. Nah, none of that. All right, just keep on moving. Just move on to the next person you want to accuse. Just move on to the next person you want to accuse. Just move on to the next person you want to accuse. That's how this is working.
The relationship with Katie McCormick, let me be abundantly clear. Bart Edmondson Jr. did not kill or in any way contribute to the tragic death of Nolan Wells. He had no motive to do so. All he did was help a boat that was in distress. He was fully and freely cooperative with authorities, sharing every bit of information he knows, providing access to his boat, his GPS, and his phone, and sharing witness lists with investigators. And I bet some dumbass is going to look at that and say, well, can we get access to it? No, you can't. You're a fucking TikToker. You don't have a rhyme or reason to have access to this shit. The police need it because they got to dot I's and cross T's. You, the stupid fuck, don't need it because all you're going to do is waste people's time. Allegedly, this was happening right here, and how dare people sit here and do this? We've seen throughout 3 fucking weeks these motherfuckers try real hard to have fan fiction be believable, and all you gotta do is say that don't make sense, to just watch these motherfuckers shiver in their boots and not realize that their stories aren't lining up to match in any real way, shape, or form. And I'm sorry that I'm getting animated about this, but I told y'all since Monday that every day it gets stupider, it gets dumber, and for people to run around just saying that guy did it, that guy did it, that guy did it, and show no proof, and just think, oh, well, if we sit here and we just say allegedly 15 times and say, oh, we're working to verify this, what are you working to verify? And who are you talking to verify it? Right now,
Leon been losing his mind, but he's so damn funny because he's so damn right. This is the same thing that we say over here. Y'all don't know anything, and the police are not required to tell you shit yet, and neither are any of these witnesses are required to tell the internet shit. Nothing. Wild. It's wild and getting wilder because TikTok said. Yeah, the Chinese somewhere laughing their ass off. I agree with whoever said that.
Now, I say right now, but it was at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm seeing people say that one of these dudes got arrested and they're caking it with the word allegedly.
Y'all, word on the street.
Ooh, let me go ahead and grab a screenshot right here. Hold on. All right, I'm childish. I know. C Money, thank you so much for the jewels. The 100. Oh, there we go. The 100. I appreciate you, boo. Come on, child.
Is that Warren got arrested? It's a legend. It's a legend. I was just trying to verify, is that true? Because I know we all heard that recording when he was on the phone with the CTO. Y'all know me. I've been following the case because as a mother of a 21-year-old daughter and a 19-year-old son, I want to see Nolan's parents get answers on what happened to him. And all this shit is coming together. I don't know who the fuck Bert is. Bert is the one. Guess what? Everybody that was...
Wait, did she say Bert? Did she say Bert? Okay.
On that goddamn boat going down. Y'all, Big Nancy Grace is going live at 8 o'clock because she just posted her video of her listening to. She was talking to somebody and they said that was an official call when they called that CTO. So it's not nothing doctored. It's not nothing that's AI. It's going down.
And I'm sorry, it's not breaking news if it's something you make up on social media. That's not how that works. And you motherfuckers know it. You're just mad when a motherfucker points out how stupid you are. Y'all try these weak little insults, but ultimately it comes down to this. Either you're telling the truth and you're not giving this information to authorities, the family, Ben Crump, or you're lying and you're lying upon a dead young man's body, which makes not anyone else, but you the piece of shit. If you're dedicated to lying in order to show support, thinking that it's going to create tension amongst everybody, this ain't NCIS. This is not Law and Order. It's not a fucking TV show. This is an active investigation into what happened to a young man, and possibly motherfuckers could be on the hook for it. But unless anybody got some substantial evidence, we're wasting our fucking time listening to you motherfuckers, because all you're doing is saying allegedly, hosting random fucking TikTok lives and not giving any credible information anywhere. You think allegedly could save your ass, but unfortunately it's gonna put you in a scenario where you might get into a little bit of legal trouble, and it ain't gonna be nobody's fault but your own. Authorities have not publicly identified any evidence of foul play in Nolan Wells' death, and independent autopsy. We know about this already. We know absolutely.
Well, we also know that there's one person that's already been arrested. So for those that just got here, someone has already been arrested, and that's for them threatening Warren's mother, the judge, if I got that right. The judge. Because they just knew that they was going to get away with it. So defamation is they gonna go out here and seek, and they've already sent a cease and desist to the whore that's on OF for the mall 2026. And she's still out here talking smack. Everybody want to talk smack until all of a sudden smack talk ain't working no more. But yeah, so that's 1 arrest and 1 cease and desist. And I don't think that's it. 1 step at a time, 1 step at a time, child. Shout out to Lawrence. I wish I had the soundboard working. Thank you so much for your generosity as per usual. He said, Auntie, the train just don't stop. My folks here where I live and the community up in arms making accusations until the autopsy has been confirmed by naming the kids as culprit. Last I checked, Nolan 18 and grown. Maybe he was 19. Is it 18 or not? No, 18. You're right. I'm a coon Sambo. All I hear is white folks racist, but blacks can't be racist too. Well, yeah, we heard that yesterday for sure. But correct. No autopsy yet, no toxicology yet, but everybody knows everything. And that's definitely what's going to get them in trouble. And once they do release it, because from what we read last night, the autopsy is done. Now, when they're going to put it out, I don't know, but keep an eye out. And I'm assuming it has to be soon, depending on toxicology, I guess. They're not going to believe it anyway if it doesn't come out to be what they expected and want it to be. Watch. Just mark my words, y'all already know for the regulars. If it does not come out and say that one of them white boys is the cause of the reason why what happened to Nolan, they're not going to believe it. And they're going to say that it's racism, regardless of it all, regardless of their history, regardless of their relationships, regardless of the fact that the parents still have not and will not say that it's racism, or they think that it's racism. They're not going to believe it anyway. It's just going to just continue to be a shit show. And technically, this is not even about Nolan anymore, in my opinion. It really is not even about him anymore. These crazy people on TikTok, which we already knew was crazy because we've been talking about TikTokers forever. They've been crazy, saying shit, making shit up, whining and crying. But then all of a sudden, they turn around talking about wanting something. These are the same people that we watch on a regular basis. I'm going to say weekly basis because we haven't been covering it as much as we used to. That sit here and say that black men ain't shit. You ain't about shit. You don't do shit. You don't give shit. And you ain't shit. But as soon as you die under the circumstances of the oppressor or a white person, you are the best thing since sliced bread. Make any of that make sense? I'm just going to say there's people that just profit off of y'all when this shit happens. Oh, you profiting because you're talking about it. You're absolutely right. In one breath, it's because I want to make money. In the next breath, it's whatever the reason is. So, and then a second, it'll be nobody talks about our stories. People talk about your stories, you're still mad. People don't talk about your stories, you're mad. People say some shit that you like, everything's all good in the hood. Long as you agree with me, everything is great. Have some questions, that's a problem. Want to get more information? That's a problem. Don't say that it's racist. That's a problem. You're a white supremacist. Child, all this craziness all over the place. This is why y'all can have that and shove that shit, okay? Maybe some of us think and say, you can't be out here accusing people or saying that someone definitively did something with no proof. How about that? That can't be a thing. Can that be a thing? Maybe this, with what they're doing, will teach people a lesson and run off at the mouth. Because I told you one person, social media person, let me say it like that, has certainly changed their tune real quick. Because they certainly was in they did it, them white boys, they did it, them white boys. That tone has changed real quick. So maybe this will get people to calm the fuck down on what the hell it is that they're saying and the things that they are saying behind the scenes to other people. One arrest already with someone threatening the judge, and a cease and desist right now that we know of to that white OnlyFans girl. It could quickly become something different. But I digress. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Lawrence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to Wayne Lundy with another 10. Two stream sponsors, Wayne Lundy and Lawrence. Now we sound crazy after we lived through their crazy. Same people are reacting to insanity, right? Let's not forget the sane are protecting our children's future. The insane got a problem with me. Insane in the membrane. Y'all remember that? Oh, that's actually what is going on right now. Thank you so much. Shout out to Wayne Lundy and Lawrence for being the stream sponsors. I'm gonna let Leon go because I want to get over here, if you can believe it, to this one, and this is the last one. Ty Rivera, I guess is what you call him. So we saw him yesterday, a portion of him on Kingdom React. Shout out to Kingdom Reacts. And child gargle alert for sure. But he is he got a lot to say. It says Nolan Wells' friend Bart Jr. gets revenge the legal way as Nolan's mom continues to grift. Now, this is his opinion. He thinks that Nolan's mom, she is the only one that talks, because again, last night looking at Mr. Walmsley, that man is suffering, in my opinion. So I don't know if it's because he's been relegated to not speaking unless told to speak, or because of what's happened, or because of the pressure, or because, whatever the reasons are. But that man, in my opinion, is suffering. So Christina's talking. Christina is out here. Shout out to her. It is what it is. Stella G. Martin, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. So I'm going to speed this up and we're going to listen to Ty Rivera. I think it's Ty Rivera. And then I got to go to work.
Girl.
Old Bart Edmondson Jr. has obtained Russell Latino out there in Mississippi.
No, he didn't. By the way, who Russell Latino? If he really Latino, I'm going to call ICE.
Yeah, this got to be sped up, child, because ain't no way I'm going to sit here and listen to her and her slow ass.
Pass me that blunt, girl.
You know, where he lived.
That's right, out there where he lived, trying to tell us he lived in Wyoming.
And he is filing a defamation on her, Kimberly.
She a white woman. She be all right.
Because he said that the accusation that she has made against him online has caused him to get a death threat.
Well, he may have got death threats, but Nolan Wells all the way dead.
And he wants an apology.
She best not give him one, I know that.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all day.
Me too, girl. Can you go ahead and hand me my Newports?
The funniest thing.
Girl, what's the funniest thing?
Now, Bart, you just opened up a whole can of worms.
Mm-hmm. A whole can of them.
You got death threats because they was calling your name on that recording. That had nothing to do with her. Don't redirect and try to deflect. The truth is going to come out.
Mm-hmm, child. It sure is.
Okay, all jokes aside, one of Nolan's alleged friends, Bart Edmondson Jr., has an attorney representing him, and they just sent out their first cease and desist to a creator by the name of Kimberly. So let's hear a little bit from Kimberly.
So basically, what we just learned from Warren's interview is that Javon's mom committed a breaking and enter. Now I'm surprised Javon's mom's not in jail for doing that by now. Out of everybody in this, Javon's mom's going to be the first one to get a charge. Watch.
And you're going to be the first one to get sued. Watch.
Sorry about that. Frog in my throat. I don't know what her problem is. But let's get another sample of her hot takes.
Wait. When did Javon's mom broken and entered? When the hell did that happen? Child,
what I was trying to tell my audience with this case, because immediately my audience is like, it's a racist murder.
Oh, this is y'all's OF woman. This is what y'all paying money for on OF? This is what y'all paying money for on OF? What is wrong with y'all? Gentlemen, this is a gentleman thing. Women, you get a pass, because I just feel like there's not a lot of women that's running out here to daggone OF. To buy. To work, yes, not to buy. Now, when did Javon's mom break and enter? I missed that.
And I was like, hey, stop this.
Stop this.
Is it me or does she sound like the dad off Family Guy? Peter Griffin, is that his name?
Stop this.
You can't say that. So I was like, very objective since day one.
Very objective. I don't see what's to send a cease and desist over. Let's get a taste of her idea of very objective. Now, keep in mind, this clip is very short, completely unedited. I have added nothing. I have taken nothing away, and I'm not going to interrupt. A very short sample of objectivity.
That's why the boat was parked at the judge's house, because they knew the mom had to go to the other kid's house to get the phone, and the body was in the boat in front of the judge's house, waiting to be dropped off. Bingo!
Maybe I'm missing something, but that doesn't sound very objective to me. It sounds almost like she's stating, as a matter of fact, that that was what's happened. And so let me read to you exactly what they've laid out for Miss Kimberly. And this is from the Griot. The headline is, friend of Nolan Wells sends cease and desist over allegations connected to death investigation. Bart Edmiston Jr., a friend of the late Nolan Wells, is taking legal action against a social media personality his attorney says has spread false claims about him amid the...
Now, let me ask you a question. Are they friends? Did we know or hear that Bart and Nolan were friends? Is it confirmed somewhere that they are actually friends? I know he came out allegedly to come save the boat after the sea tow call or whatever. But are him, because he's going to school in Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken. And then Nolan was still, I guess, in the MIS. But were they friends? I feel like I don't know if that was the case or not.
Ongoing investigation into the Mississippi teen's death. According to TMZ, Edmiston's lawyer, Russell Latino, sent a cease and desist letter Wednesday to social media figure Kimberly, accusing her of pushing false and defamatory statements across her platform. The 5-page letter obtained by the outlet allegedly falsely claimed that Edmiston helped cause Nolan's death and took part in a cover-up. Beyond the accusations themselves, the letter raises serious safety concerns. According to TMZ, Latino claims Lee published Edmiston's address, photos of his home, property records, and details about where his family members work, allegedly exposing him and his relatives to harassment and potential danger. The letter lays out several demands: that Lee make her post about Edmiston private while preserving them as potential evidence, stop sharing his personal information, and issue a public apology acknowledging she had no factual basis to tie him to Nolan's death. TMZ reported that Latino gave Lee 5 business days to comply, though he indicated Edmiston may pursue a lawsuit regardless. Importantly, the outlet noted that Latino stressed law enforcement has not identified Edmiston as a suspect or person of interest, contrary to what Lee has allegedly claimed. Edmiston's family has previously said he voluntarily handed over his phone, photos, video, boat, and GPS data to investigators. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? So, like I said, Bart Edmiston Jr. has absolutely had it, and I do not blame him. And I know some of you probably thought I was going to talk about the fact that Ben Crump now has the infamous audio, and they're going to be investigating it. Nothing's going to come of that. And I understand. The mother, she is going through a pain that I would not understand. She lost a child, and the only thing that can quell her mind in any way is the sound of money coming in on that GoFundMe. That's something I can't relate to, and I will...
Oh, no. Yeah. Shout out to the GoFundMe. Let me go ahead and see where it's at today. Go ahead, Sha.
100% admit that. I have heard of the stages of grief, but I have never gone through the GoFundMe stage. So for right now, I'm not going to weigh in on that. But what I will tell you is I noticed that they're not so hot to get the phone checked out right now, even though there were supposedly missing messages and data from the phone.
Why are there deleted messages on his phone? Messages that were deleted from his cell phones. We want her to talk about the cell phone deleted messages.
There were things deleted in a dead man's phone that he didn't have access to.
They claim that text messages from Nolan's phone were deleted.
My sister and I actually went through Nolan's cell phone, particularly Snapchat, because that is so popular with the children. And when we opened it up, there was nothing.
So I went ahead and looked into that myself, what it would cost to have a forensic analyst look at the phone. And I'll tell you guys what I found. Okay, so for a professional forensic phone analysis in the United States, the average cost is between $1,500 and $3,500, and it can go up to $5,000 to $25,000 plus, depending on exactly how extensive they have to go. Now, I'm going to say that even though these boys are being painted as criminal masterminds, if they did delete anything off the phone, it's not going to be done to a professional level where it's going to be 25 grand or more. But let's say it is 25 grand.
So they had, I think he's saying, so if they deleted something, they didn't want it to be done so that it's never seen again, it'll cost $25,000. Well, clearly there wasn't enough time for all this. So the shit is available. So I'd be wondering why this phone is still in their hands, not given to the police. They were supposed to put it together. Remember, they were supposed to come together and give the phone up, because just because she says that stuff was deleted, it doesn't mean that stuff was deleted. What was deleted? Let's find out. Let's find out what was deleted. That's been delayed. For what reason? What? Anyway.
GoFundMe is currently at $789,879.
Let me see. Right now, he said 789. Well, it went up by 1,000, just FYI. So it's at 790, 785. So it went up another %. So when he was looking at it, it was probably yesterday when he made the video. But shout out to the GoFundMe child. Gone.
So even if it were 25 grand, you could definitely afford it. Why haven't you done that? As far as I know, you haven't turned it over to the police yet, but let's go ahead and say that you really want to go for broke because you are convinced that there is something on that phone that you need to recover in order to solve the death of your son. Notice I didn't say the M word because I don't think that comes into play, but let's say that you think it is that. So you want to go top of the line in order to get the best in the world, 25 to 100,000 plus. Still just a drop in the bucket when you're damn near $800,000 ahead on found money. And
$1 million, $1 million. That's That's just what the GoFundMe says.
I bring this up because if I were her and I really felt that that's what had happened, I would pay the full $100,000 and I would make the case so undeniable that Mississippi had no choice but to do something about it. And I would make sure that America's favorite slip and fall attorney, Ben Crump, earned every single dollar that he was going to take from the wrongful death, because that's where he gets paid, is in the wrongful death. That's where he gets to wet his beak. But I would make sure that he really pushed these.
I would assume that there is at least a retainer, allegedly.
These results on everybody. But my guess is she knows that there's nothing that's going to be recovered on that phone, or she would just put the money up and pay for it herself and be like, okay, now you guys do the secondary autopsy, this time of the phone. And I'm not going to take the throat or the lungs out. I'll let you have the whole damn phone and see everything I saw. Hopefully you find something that the best in the world didn't. But she's not going to do that. You know why she's not going to do that? Because she knows that this is a grift. And she knows that she's hoping that she'll never have to work again. And I don't want anybody to come at me and be like, you really should be nicer about it. No, I shouldn't, and I'm not going to be. So really, we are where we are when it comes to that. Bart Edmiston Jr., though, that's what we're really here to talk about. And what I want to say is, I hope he sues every one of these creators for every dollar that they make off this story. And the reason I say this is because obviously I'm in the same space. And in some cases, I'm much smaller on the scale than they are. And I can tell you guys the amount of research that I do so that I'm not putting out misinformation is absolutely exhausting. And I will tell you guys when things are.
Wanda said, what if the mom deleted it herself for some reason? Listen, that could quite possibly be the case, but if the phone gets reviewed, I'm sure they can tell that. I'm telling you, for an iPhone, y'all, for those that have iPhones, when you take pictures, it now gives you the quadrants, the country, the time, everything on when you take pictures. So I'm sure that they can say, oh, well, this pinged off of this tower at this time, so it couldn't have been this one. You know how all that works? Now, I'm not saying that she did, but can we take a moment and be honest? Gentlemen, there could be things that men and women, okay, let's be honest, men and women having their phones that they really don't want their moms and dads and family members to see. Can we agree to that, or are we gonna lie about that? Whether it's unclothed people of either side, acts of search histories of where you used to go, that's everyone all in. All that stuff can be found. Would you want the world to maybe know any of that? Imagine, I ain't even gonna say it. I'm just saying. So we're gonna act like people may not have things in their phones that they don't want their moms and dads and family members to see, let alone the rest of the world. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all.
They're just my opinion. But when I'm giving you facts, I make sure that I'm giving you facts. And I notice that there's a lot of creators right now that will present things as facts, like specifically one I mentioned the other day, which is Tisa Tells.
And I know I'm just bringing the facts to you.
I love how people come in here thinking that they're going to talk about what the law can do when the law is doing what the law does by people who actually practice the law. But shout out to probably TikTokers that know everything about everything. And you already know how I feel about her, child. Ain't nobody trying to listen to her.
Well, just 2 days ago, Tisa Tells posted a video where her thumbnail said, Bart, main person of interest. And then in the title, she actually puts Bart Jr., main person of interest. Now, I may be mistaken on this, but as far as I knew, nobody could determine anybody else to be a person of interest, let alone a main person of interest, if they weren't from law.
I don't think anybody official has put anything out as a main person of interest. Maybe I missed it. Did anything come out saying that somebody was the main point of interest from the police?
Enforcement. I thought that was a distinction that law enforcement made. I didn't think that just YouTubers could decide a person was now a main person of interest and advertise their video that way. She had, at the time I took this screenshot, 112,000 views on that video. So that is a lot of people that she's misleading into believing that Bart is a main person of interest. And if you think these people aren't dumb enough to believe that Bart Jr. isn't a main person of interest just because Tisa says so, you clearly don't know how dumb her audience is. For example, when she did the update where she was talking about how she was not going to be mentioning Bart anymore because he had lawyered up and his lawyer was being very serious about saying keep Bart Jr.'s name out of your mouth, one of the comments said this: Bart's lawyer is trying to save his little football career. Not going to happen. It's over. And that got 525 likes. And it also had several comments on it. And they were like, yup, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm down. Things like that. And it's like, you guys are trying to ruin somebody's life, and all based off of rumor, all based off of him happening to be somewhere and you thinking that you heard something that you may not have even heard on a doctored audio recording. And a lot of the reason that I think that these creators think that they can get away with this is because with the Carmelo Anthony situation, they were able to go absolutely crazy with the lies. And that's because Austin was gone and Jeff Metcalf, Austin's father, wasn't choosing to actually make that a priority.
Black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry.
But a lot of the stuff they said about Austin Metcalf and even Jeff Metcalf was, I'm sure, legally actionable if that's what Jeff Metcalf wanted to make his life about. He chose not to. I don't blame him because I think he really was acting like a grieving parent would act. Take note, Christine Walmsley. But I'm sure he could have sued a couple of these creators had he actually wanted to. And the other thing that I think that everybody should keep in mind when it comes to these creators that are being real fast and loose with these accusations and clickbait titles is that the level that it takes for it to be defamation when it comes to a non-public person versus a celebrity is much lower. So there is a good chance that these lawsuits could actually go through if Bart Jr. decides to take them up because you're dealing with just an average college student. And you can say that he's on his way to the NFL or it looks like he's going to get picked up by the NFL. That hasn't happened. And you could possibly be getting in the way of that. And who knows if that does get ruined and he's able to prove that, how much that'll translate to you having to pay. So what I'm saying is, if you want to be the next Tasha K, who's the one that got sued for, I think it was $3 million by Cardi B and is still trying to hide money, but Cardi B just keeps going after her and going after her and going after her, you keep lying about Bart Jr. Because if you didn't know, and I'm sure this is verifiable through law enforcement, but right here it's being reported in the Wyoming Tribune Eagle. And let me read this to you verbatim so you know exactly what's going on. He allowed his phone to be viewed and shared requested photographs and videos from that day with law enforcement. He also permitted the inspection of his boat and GPS device. He did all of this without counsel, without requiring warrants, and without hesitation. And this is, of course, according to his attorney, but like I said, I'm sure it can be verified. So Bart probably feels like, yeah, I already said everything I have to say. And this is where people mess up. Is
because people think that these people owe the internet anything. The internet is owed nothing. People are out of fucking control. I'm telling you, keep talking. Oh, they can't. Oh, what they can't. Okay, lawyers up in here. As a lawyer here on YouTube only, y'all sound crazy. Y'all sound crazy. Clearly, they gonna do whatever. Just like he just brought it up with Tasha K and Cardi B. And she actually was lying, Tasha K, with the shit that she was putting up. And she just kept going along with it. That's all right. She might not get that money now, but it's still out there for her. It can still be gotten. Thank you, Kofa. He said, what'd I tell you about my homie that died? I'm sorry, boo. I don't remember. Just let me know. Just type it up. That's fine. And then I'll bring it up. I don't remember. There's a lot going on around here. There's a lot going on. Shout out to Wayne with another 5. He said, every time I see Don Lemon, I do a few push-ups and thank God for his word. That ninja. Another one. Just I don't even listen to him at all in any way, shape, or form. No way. No way. Because he's so pro-black and what you blacks need to do while he goes home and sleeps with the white man every night. But he loves you blacks. He loves y'all.
Everybody thinks that because they want a statement from all of these guys publicly, that all of them have to give them a statement in order for them to be considered to be cooperative in the investigation. But being cooperative in the investigation does not mean that you have to issue social media statements. And let me tell you, because I heard...
Exactly. All right. So we on the same page here. The internet is owed nothing. The internet is owed nothing. Now, I feel like I don't hear some of these people talking about all of them have already gone and talked to the damn police. They don't report near none of that. So they're out here letting people think that, oh, they just hiding. They not talking to nobody. They lawyered up. Well, why wouldn't they? Child, why wouldn't they? Especially with all this shit going on. Like that's weird. Oh, so weird that they lawyered up. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Some people saying, why were they saying his name on the boat? Well, let me read this to you. Again, from the same article. Hundreds of Mississippi Gulf Coast residents journeyed out to Horn Island to celebrate the holiday on the 4th of July. Home from college, Bart Jr. was among them, the statement said. He piloted his own boat to Horn Island and piloted his own boat home. When a nearby boat suffered a mechanical...
Okay, Child, what is his name? Bart got his own boat. Oh, Lord. It's like a nursery rhyme. Bart got his own boat. Everybody out there with their own boats. It's like normal.
Malfunction on the afternoon of the 4th, Bart Jr. gave advice and direct aid to the distressed vessel. As part of this, he boarded the distressed vessel, removed its transom plug, got back onto his boat, and towed the distressed vessel for a short distance. These actions allowed water that had accumulated on the distressed vessel to drain. Bart Jr. believes that more than 20 passengers were spread across the two boats to witness these events. Others may have also witnessed from the water or shore. When Nolan's disappearance and the death came to light, Bart Jr. freely and fully cooperated with law enforcement investigating the tragedy. He sat for interviews, answered all of the questions he was asked, and shared all of his recollection from July 4th, 2026. Bart Jr. also compiled a list of potential witnesses, including passengers on the boat he was piloting, to share with investigators. So really, how much more can you expect from Bart Edmiston Jr.? He's done his part. And as far as I go, if I were in that situation, I could 100% understand why he wouldn't want his name caught up with this in the first place. Because that's...
Well, if they all talk to the oppressor, over 60 people have talked to the oppressor, they're putting it together. What makes sense? They got them pictures. You know how pictures on the wall, like they do in like I think I don't watch these type of shows, but like Law and Crime, or what's that show, Law and Order, I think, where I've never watched that show, y'all, where they put the main suspect at the top and then they start putting pictures of all the people at the bottom and underneath, and they start drawing who's connected to who. I'm sure they're doing all that. I'm sure they're doing all that based off of what they were saying. And then they'll go ahead and say whatever when the time comes. They got to present to the grand jury. They got to present to the grand jury. Criminal Minds or First 48, any of them. I don't watch none of those shows. But yeah, so all that is being done. The internet is owed nothing. I don't know why the internet thinks that they are in charge. They are in charge of nothing. Copa says when we deleted his phone before. Oh, yes. Oh, Lord, could get it. Allegedly. Y'all going support one another no matter what. But I get it. Because there's a lot of shit that be on people's phones that you know damn well that you don't want your mamas to see, your daddies to see, the public to see, or near none of that. Now, whether they can tell what was deleted, I don't know. Maybe y'all know. So for instance, just say that it was a picture on somebody's phone that's of a naked person, and then they didn't want it on the phone, so they deleted it, and then you go and you have it looked at by forensics or whatever it is. They can tell that something is deleted and probably where, right? But can they tell what it was is the question. Now, I know some of y'all are saying the cloud, but isn't that only for Apple phones? Is that for every phone? If you can actually see what was deleted? That's my question. I don't know. I'm asking y'all.
The other thing I saw people asking, a lot of people were online saying things like, well, why are we just hearing his name now? Well, why are we just hearing about him? Because if I were him, I would feel like I had nothing to do with that whole situation altogether. I wasn't even hanging out with those people. I just noticed a boat was in distress. I was able to help them out, which I believe is part of your legal duty if you happen to see another boat in distress and you're able to help. Maybe I'll look that up. Maybe I'll put it here if that turns out to be an actual thing. But let's just say he was being a good Samaritan. Just because you help somebody do something like that doesn't mean you're now a part of their crew. Doesn't mean you now know how they spent their day. It just means that you were nice enough to stop and help them out. And so when people are like, well, then why are they on the recording saying, damn it, Bart, or whatever it is you think you heard? Let's say you did hear the name Bart, which would make sense since he got on the boat. But again, that's why it makes sense. Let's say it was when he figured out what was going to be the fix for that situation. And so they were saying, damn, Bart, like you the man, you just figured it out. Now we're not going to sink after all. Let's say that that's what it was. It all makes sense. And I don't know why everybody's so interested in trying to turn this into something it's not. And so what happened was then his name got put out and people started speculating, saying things like it was because he was in love with Katie and Katie turned out to be his ex-girlfriend and Nolan was now flirting with Katie. So that's why he decided to end Nolan's life, which there's no proof of that. And also he said that he doesn't know Katie and hasn't dated Katie. So there's that as well. But let's brush that aside. People had this story that that's what had happened. So finally, Bart has to step up and say something because like I said, these creators are presenting things that they're saying as fact. Like when I mentioned Tisa specifically, Tisa will say that she's just giving you the facts. And then she'll say a bunch of things that are her opinion. And the title, as well as the thumbnail, will also be her opinion. And that's where you start getting into dangerous territory where not only can you get sued, but if Bart got a credible death threat, which is claimed that he got a credible death threat, that's what his lawyer says. So if he got a credible death threat and that's starting to happen, and let's say people are starting to call his school and trying their best to get him canceled in any way that he can get canceled and just all the way around ruin his life for something that he may have had absolutely no part in, for something that maybe nobody had any part in. Let's say that possibly it does turn out to be foul play, which is what all the Justice for Nolan people really want us to believe. So let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say that that's what it turned out to be. That doesn't necessarily mean Bart had anything to do with it. And I don't think he would be that forthcoming without counsel if he were. So then finally, after people clearly trying to ruin his life on some level, because I don't think that's debatable, I think on some level, people have been trying to ruin his life. And now he started
TikTok for sure. You know how they do. Shout out to Wayne with another 5. He says, septum nose theory though. Don't be biased. Don't be biased. I'm not biased. I've listened to him before. I didn't know y'all wanted to listen to him. So y'all, when Kingdom Reacts had him on, y'all was like, oh yeah, I like this guy. So I'm like, all right, I'll bring him out. He has some good thoughts. People seem to not want to think the opposite way. They only want to think the way that they think. And it has to be racism. That's it. So, okay, then that's what it is with no information.
Deal with consequences. Well, why should he have to deal with consequences? Legally, he doesn't deserve consequences. Nobody has named him as an actual suspect. So finally, he gets a lawyer and people are like, oh, well, what's he afraid of? He doesn't have to be afraid of anything. He could just be a person that knows he doesn't deserve this heat and isn't going to stand for it. And that's going to have to be good enough for a lot of you. And I would advise that people just keep his name out of their mouth. That's what I would say, because you don't have any proof that he did anything. It's all just your speculation. And so far, what you think you've heard. And before we get out of here, let me read to you specifically what the attorney has said about social media influencers in general, mentioning Bart Edmiston Jr.
Uh-oh. He getting down to the nitty gritty. Shout out to Night Jade in the building. Thank you, Boo. She said, I work in cybersecurity. Uh-oh. People have their phones connected to their Apple or Google account. Nothing is usually truly gone unless you overwrite it. Oh, I saw y'all saying that there's Google Cloud as well. Okay. I did not know that. So then the question is, Night Jade, if something is deleted, can you bring back what it was, or can you see what it was, if that makes sense? So again, with the naked picture, and someone didn't want everybody to see it, could they bring it back and say, oh, so this is what you deleted? That's what my next question is.
I have been retained by the family of Bart Edmiston Jr. to pursue people defaming him with wholly fabricated assertions of fact that are putting Bart, his family, and friends in harm's way. Bart received a credible death threat Tuesday because of some of the made-up speculation on Facebook and other sites. The FBI, state and local law enforcement have all been activated. We have hired a private investigator firm to identify and track individuals engaged in defamation against the Edmistons. That you are young, naive, or lack the resources to pay a civil judgment will not deter us from filing a lawsuit against you. This is not about money for my clients. They want to protect their family, and they want to curb people who lie recklessly. If you make up something out of thin air or share something you don't know to be true, adding the word allegedly or saying people are reporting will not save you from a defamation suit. We will address the falsehoods being presented methodically, Latino continued, but now is not the time for that. Now is the time to make very clear that we intend to be unrelenting against people who are lying online for clicks and likes. The Edmistons and broader Ocean Springs community grieve for the loss of Nolan Wells. They want the truth and peace for Nolan's family. People making things up online that put others at risk are not honoring Nolan's life or loss. They are not bringing us closer to the truth, but pulling us away. This will be a large, potentially nationwide task. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't agree with him more. Nobody should have to deal with this just because social media has decided that you're not behaving the way that they think that you need to behave.
That's the point right there. If you don't do it the way that they think you should do it, then all of a sudden everything is wrong, child. These people crazy, been crazy, and they ain't gonna change. It's just getting worse. Night J said, telcos will have chat messages stored on their servers. It depends on how it's deleted. If deleted from the phone and the phone gets deleted from the phone, you have to turn backup off. Ooh, Lord. Oh, photo. Okay. And the photo gets deleted from the phone. If deleted from the phone and the photo gets deleted from the phone, you have to turn backup on. Okay. So it's possible. It's possible that it could be brought back. But they can also see that you deleted something and where it was deleted at. So if it was over here at like say it was over at what's his name, child, Warren Wyatt, if it was at their house, ping ping ping, it'll show there. If it was over on the island, ping ping ping, it'll show there. Or if it was at the Walmsley's house, ping ping ping, it will show there. Which is how people get caught in X scandals, child. Interesting stuff, y'all. Interesting stuff. But that is all I got for this morning. The plan is to come back, but at the end of the day, if it ain't nothing new, I might not, child, because I'm over it. But shout out to y'all for making it this far. I appreciate you. Shout out to Lawrence and to Wayne being stream sponsors. If you did get a membership, it did come from Wayne Lundy. Make sure you thank him. Thank you both so much. Shout out to everyone that donated today. I appreciate you. Today is the last day of July, y'all. Another one down the drain. All right. Year is more than half over. What the hell it is that you're doing in order to make your shit better? I'm doing more than reporting on this case. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the dislike button, just hit a daggone button. If you're on replay, make sure you hype this daggone video. Make sure you comment, subscribe if you are normal. I see you all in the next.
And now another anti-ruckus rant brought to you by the community. Viewer and audio discretion is highly advised.
The community wants to take the word and hold out hoes, whores, OF people, people who put out STD named lip gloss, people who have slept with anybody and everybody at any time, people who talk about the AB clinic like they go into McDonald's, people who just say whatever comes to their mind, people who make songs about scamming, people who like people to pee on them, people who like to hang out with people that could be ABCD, but because they have enough money, it's okay. and then say that that's woman empowerment. So to be a whore is woman empowerment, and that's who runs the community. Y'all stand up for whores, and everybody's just supposed to go along with it. People like Tigger go along with it. Eddie Winslow, whatever his name is, allegedly goes along with it. And people are talking about white people are the problem. Colors, white people are not the problem. I don't care. Say what you want. White people is not the problem with the community. It's the fact that black people listen to famous people with yellow hair, pink hair, blue hair, nose rings, eye rings, tongue rings, lip rings, cheek rings, throat rings, boob rings. That's the problem. Liberals, progressives, and Democrats. That's the problem. Unfortunately, it always comes back to political because, child man, none of these people I've subscribed would be a conservative person, even though black people are supposed to be conservative. And I still would like someone to answer the question. I know it's not a video that people are liking. That's okay. It's still there to watch. Which ancestor would come back today and say, thank you all for continuing my legacy? Which one? Name them. Which one? Name them. Will come back today and say, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you for continuing all my hard work. You're doing spades, child. Y'all are doing spades. So glad that I risked my life so that you all could become fucking whores. Whores don't run my fucking life. They do not run me or my community. And I don't hang out with motherfuckers that don't make any sense. Y'all can have that shit. Y'all can listen to caricature all the fuck you want to. Fuck that nigga. You can listen to that funky tether over there that's telling you to your face that Democrats ain't done shit for you, and then turn around and say, keep voting for them. And then you want to turn around and act like white people are your problem when you got all these niggas in your face lying to you, and you still believe them. And then you'll make some fucked up excuse because you fucked up and say, but white people do it too. But black people do it too. And yet black bitches always looking at white people for what the fuck it is that they do and then turn around talking about racism. Make it make sense. I still ain't seen to where, child, what is her name? Blonde hair. Child, the ESPN ex-person, child. You know what I'm talking about.